Kazuha is.
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all. Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor, we ran into a huge crowd of Inazumans, all of them wanting to know about Kazuha. If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting this kind of attention. Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
What's up? Long time no speak.
Oh, so you still don't know what he did?
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi.
How you been?
Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be?
I know. You've been working. I heard.
Really?
I'm always asking for you and
When
Hans.
you put it like that, it all makes sense.
Your own thing.
In that case, his newfound stardom is well deserved. He was
really?
called away earlier by some people from the Tenryo
But
Commission.
there's no games you like
They
playing.
said they had something important to discuss with him. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him.
When's
Seems
he
like
coming
they
back
really
for court?
respect the guy.
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable.
Yeah, answers this thing.
Thank you. Guess we'll go pay a visit to the
Finished
Tenryo
nature.
Commission.
All right, then. I'll just stay here and carry on trying to fend off the crowd.
Oh, you come back to play Genshin? That's what I like to hear. You still play on your phone? You don't need to go. Fair enough. The game's actually not that long. You just have to keep up with it. It's actually not that long.
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt decree. Since
Oh,
you're
order
here,
your
you're
food.
very welcome to listen in on the conversation. We invited Mr. Kaidahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the Shogunate. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs
Not a
that
lot
we
of
now
story
enjoy.
happened, you know.
Also, I've
can
been
always
granted
catch
the
up
chance
and
to
get
correct my clan's past mistakes.
Only thing you missed
And
out
for
on
that, I'm deeply
the
grateful.
events.
The Almighty Shogun has issued
But
a
it's not
large
that
array
hard
of
to catch up.
directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaidahara name. Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed? In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the Almighty Shogun. The Kaidahara clan belonged to this class. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaidahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period of great turmoil. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaidahara clans was neither proper nor just. Considering Mr. Kaidahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the Almighty Shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements, but also receive recompense for the excessive punishment borne by his clan in the past. In the interest of preventing further harassment of the Bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations into these matters. We trust you can understand why this was necessary.
This is a true honor. Goodwill of the Almighty Shogun, and the Shogunate at large.
I paused the wrong
However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice. With the Kaidahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaidaharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to an end. You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City with the almighty Shogun's blessing and full support of the Shogunate.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the tall walls of a stately abode. Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaedahara, and the art of blade making for which it stood. I do have a responsibility to restore their honor.
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered whether there was another Kaedahara Kazuha in town.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaedahara really parried the Shogun's strike. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, the falsehood that Kaedahara Kazuha was using a delusion began to spread.
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion turns you old and frail, and Kazuha still looks fine.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconceivable notion still.
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, no matter whether it brings suspicion or stardom my way. But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation will blow over more quickly.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
Please allow me some time to consider. In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of you here?
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important thing!
Mandamore after you, fam.
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me? No, this puzzles me as much as it does you. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. We undergo rigorous training to standardize every motion the blade is put through, so that each can be fairly assessed for quality. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaedahara sword art, focused on blade testing, but with a full repertoire of combat forms. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity you speak
Hello,
of
Akame.
was coincidence alone.
Akame's despair. Welcome
All
to
the more
stream.
reason to watch your back! This guy was a serious nutcase.
Right now, I'm only doing
Indeed.
the
He sounds highly aggressive.
Kazuha's quest now.
Anyone he targets is at
Haven't
risk
done
of
it.
serious injury, or worse.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search for him.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will also need some time to consider your offer.
I need to learn how you do surveys.
I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked him, then give you a conclusive answer upon my return.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
Alright, let's go.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to say.
Kucho's son should be the head of the clan. Let's see, let's see, let's see.
Hey there! We'd like to ask, do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him?
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaedehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an...
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you could...
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. Mr. Kaidehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaidehara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions of mora?
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it. Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaidehara. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads. I thought you might have some information from different sources.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
That does make sense. Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now. I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life because of me. For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaidehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
You flatter me. Truth be told, I don't know quite what came over me in that moment.
You are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely understand your concerns. I will try my best to gather whatever leads I can for you. Oh, actually, there was one strange incident over the last few days. It doesn't involve an attack, though. Let me tell you about it just in case.
Sure. During times like this, the more information we have, the better.
All right, then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Amenoma? Now there's a familiar name.
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the owner of Amenoma Smithy. 2 grown men going missing at the same time. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you are looking for.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man, nor do I have any idea why he may wish to attack me.
Sure, can't hurt. We never know what we might find out along the way.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some inquiries at the Amenoma Smithy.
Sounds good. All the best with your investigation. I'll get moving shortly myself.
Welcome to Bonton Sangha Detective Agency. What will you have me solve?
Man said Karen vibes. Sorry.
Ah, if it isn't Kaedehara Kazuha. What brings you here today?
Huh? You two know each other?
Yes, the Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. Historically, there have always been deep links between the 2 clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects. Yes. You may recall the story of the Raiden Gokaden from the Iridori Festival.
Though all bladesmiths trace their craft back to the same source, over time, each of us has arrived at a different blade-making philosophy. As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out. As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called the Ishin.
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins. For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Ishin blade chooses its owner. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedehara clan has fallen on hard times,
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf of my clan. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing nephew. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
Ah, yes. My nephew. He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him. But I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give me a great gift. I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse, and neither of them came back. Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there...
Do you have any thoughts on what...
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, he's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade testing. He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the suspect's...
What? No. Absolutely impossible. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind. He has never...
Is that so?
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear, with neither farewell nor fair warning. I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced, or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men met each other. Let's pay a visit to the...
I need to recharge that.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now. My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation.
Ah, I see. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information?
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. We're still trying to find out as much as we can to inform our search. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
That's a long story. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh, what happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse, admiring his weapons even as debt collectors were descending upon our house. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him, but making ends meet has to come first. I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me.
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family? Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament. And I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or if he was simply angry with me. The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire, and both he and the buyer had gone missing.
I see. I understand. Ame no Mayuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale, a fire broke out at the warehouse, and both men disappeared.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price. But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce argument.
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the debts?
Yo,
I don't
Hickey,
know.
welcome to the stream.
He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down. Perhaps
During
he's
the
too
Kazuha
afraid to come
quest.
home,
Welcome
now that all
back.
his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debts.
Before the
Even
new
though I'm
update.
still a little mad at him. We're a family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically
I
over
heard
a
you get
short
a sword
period.
at the end of it. And
But
sword's
the
pretty
information
good,
we gathered
so
from the
I
other
wanna check it
side
out.
suggests Ame no Mayuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument. This situation is getting a little confusing.
Stop.
A little
wow. There's a new
confusing.
update coming
More
out
like completely
tonight.
mystifying.
for the new to finish off the Arkham quest.
Let's try a change of scenery. and see if we can piece together what we've learned.
Story's really good.
Rest assured,
I
we'll
can't
notify
understand
you
why
if we
you
find
quit.
anything.
Everybody gets
Thank
burnt
you
out.
so much. I just want him to come home.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance. The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paimon was thinking that maybe someone accidentally knocked over an oil lamp and...
Paimon's a cow.
Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to
Yeah.
you.
Shango fuel.
That is the most likely conclusion based on everything we know. What started as a disagreement over the price escalated and ultimately turned into a
That is
tragedy.
true. Fair enough.
However, in
You
this
can always
case,
like
only
download
one
it on
of the
the
parties
mobile
would have
though,
started the
or
fire.
tablet,
That would make the
or
other party
PC,
innocent,
or your laptop.
and they would have no reason to hide themselves from the public. If this is indeed what happened, and the innocent man hasn't come forward yet, then it suggests they may have already lost their life. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introverted and passive. Neither seems like the type of person who is inclined towards initiating conflict. Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to disappear after the fire. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together. Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing techniques of Amenoma art, not those of the combat-oriented Ishin art.
Darn! We thought we could get
Fair
two
enough.
birds with one stone here, but
I
at
believe
this
you.
rate,
I get burnt out on this
it's
game a
starting
lot
to
too.
look like a wild
That's why I still
goose
haven't done the
chase.
Kazuha quest. It's been like 2-3 updates.
Let's keep going,
since this
since
quest has
we've
been
come
out.
this far. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs.
Welcome back,
Nagato
please.
will be able to get some closure.
Okay,
But yeah,
But
it's
where
easy
should
to
we
get
go
burnt out. I've
now?
been playing from day one.
Let's head out of
so
the city and check out the warehouse.
it's very
There's
easy to
still
get
a
burnt
chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence.
out. 2 Novembers ago. Yeah, but you got burnt out because you never got Diluc. That don't count. You just got salty because you couldn't get the character you wanted. Where do I need to go? I need to go here.
Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh, this must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beto's tournament.
Razor.
So...
I don't like Razor, you know, Hickey. I think I love electro units, but Razor's my most disliked unit from the electro units. I wanted Master Diluc. You can still get Master Diluc, you know. You didn't do his story quest though. He had a good story quest.
Now I'm picking
Yo,
up a strong
Scarlet,
scent
welcome
in
to the
addition to
stream.
the sound. It's right around here
Unfortunately, I'm
somewhere.
not using Toma though.
But there's nothing here.
You know what it is with Razor?
It's
I don't
gone
like the way
now.
he talks.
But I can still sense the direction it left in.
And I think it's his
It felt
ult as
very
well.
much
He
like
has to
that
be on the
ancient
field
presence in
24/7.
Inazuma. The remnants
like
of the
that.
Tata. Indeed. But this unexpected spring of inauspicious energy may prove to be of benefit to our investigation. We should remain vigilant and approach slowly.
Oh wait, Case, have you seen Diluc's new outfit? I know you haven't been on the game in a while, so I don't know if you've seen
So
it.
it's an underground warehouse.
The force is definitely coming from down below.
If this is
The
a
source of the
dungeon, I'll pick
Tatarigami energy has long since
or
left
pick a
this
team that you guys
place,
wanted to pick. If it's a
but the
dungeon.
residue it left behind still hasn't dissipated completely. Judging from the concentration,
You haven't seen it? Oh wow.
I would
I'm gonna
have to
show you.
conclude that the Tatarigami source resided here for a very long time.
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to
His
hang around
delusion
the
skin.
warehouse by himself
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot.
With these dark
It
flames.
could well be that he was already under the influence of
that skin is
Tatarigami
really good.
energy at that time.
Really, really good.
From what I've been told,
Scarlet, if you're
Tatarigami
still
does
in the
not
stream,
turn all upon
are
whom
you
it
gonna summon
preys
for
into
Nihida?
violent monsters.
'Cause I know you play
But
this
most
game,
will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Their interests become fanatical obsessions. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin
I
with.
don't think it's that bad, you know.
The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became
don't know.
an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possessions, even as he put himself in grave debt.
Because my main gacha
so what
game
should we
before
do
this
now?
was
Go down
Bleach
and
Brave
take a
Soul.
look?
Step back.
And
I'll
that
open the
game is
door
very
and take a look
lenient.
inside.
This game is not that lenient, but it's not that bad. Like, I've played Punishing Grey Raven. I don't know how you're supposed to get gems to summon in that game. And the same in Honkai Impact. I don't understand how you're supposed to get gems with summon in that game. So I just don't play them. I play this. I play Breach Brave Souls. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Out of all the gacha games, I think the easiest one to farm gems on that I've ever played is Destiny Child. And I love that game. It's just my characters are way too strong, so I
If
stopped
we
playing
don't
them
open
more.
this door, we can move no closer to the truth.
Punishing is
You
meh,
needn't
but I
worry.
did like the gameplay.
Both of us have faced far greater
It's so hard
dangers
to get
than
characters
this.
that I like. So
Relatively
what's the point?
speaking, the risk here is trivial.
With Honkai, there's a lot of characters I like in that game. It's kind of boring. I should try
down
Kone.
there?
Everything's buried in debris.
I'll try it.
I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
I'll check if it's
That
on
was
the
too
Google Play Store.
scary. Paimon was so sure that the warehouse boogeyman was about to jump out at us.
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy source left this place. Two
Oh,
ordinary
Princess can have
humans.
freedom. I said that's a
entangled
waifu
with the
gacha
Tatarigami.
game.
I fear much misfortune. Yes, let's go.
I believe
If nothing
it.
else,
I've
it's
seen
vital that we find
adverts.
out where this Tatarigami energy is coming from. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you.
Yeah?
Perhaps
Okay, I
you
might
too
try it.
will perceive
if
its
the
ominous
gameplay is
presence
quite
in the
cool.
wind.
I might download it tonight. I'll start watching TV. This is Sen. Burnt Sen. It's really easy to farm jewels. Okay. I'll try it. It sounds like it's similar to Destiny Child. Destiny Child is it's a Korean gacha game. It's quite. It's a good game. It's quite lewd as well, but stop playing it.
From this point, the trail appears to split into two. The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance,
I'm good,
but a
Scarlet,
small
man. How are
portion
you?
remained here
Are you
and
summoning
seems
for
to be
Nahida
dissipating slowly.
and Layla? And the new patch that's coming out tonight?
Quite possibly.
That is going to break the game.
Let's search the area.
Fair enough. That's like every gacha game though, right? I know Nahida's next patch, but they've revealed the character that's coming afterwards, which is Scaramouche. And I like Scaramouche, so as soon as I get Nahida, if I get like the gacha god
Peace
luck
and good health
again,
should be enjoyed by all.
I would just summon for
If I
Scaramouche.
can provide everyone
And this new
with a
girl
life
called
such as
Faru
this,
Zen.
I will be content.
They're both Anemo units, and Anemo's broken, so gonna have to see about that.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls. They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's
Patch
take
is
a
coming
closer
out
look.
tonight. Yeah, the new patch should be today. Let me see. Yeah, see, there's no timer on the gacha. It should be coming out any time today or tonight. See, it's 10 million damage with 1 ult. That's a lot.
Pin them down!
Through me, justice is served.
I knew I wasted my ult. I knew I wasted my ult.
Ooh, look at this red stuff.
ASAP, welcome to the stream.
What is it?
By the
Yeah, I'm
looks
gonna
of
start
it,
streaming
a
on
letter
YouTube again. I'm gonna
written
try to
on
do one
piece of
stream a day
torn
at least.
clothing.
At least.
The ink is bone dry. It must have been written quite some time ago.
I was actually going to stream
let's
Pirate
take a
Warriors
look.
4. And then I saw you wasn't online ASAP. So I was like, I'm going to stream Genshin Impact instead. So,
According to this letter, a conflict arose because
Okay, Candice
Amanoma
on the
Yuya
and
wanted to
Sino
seize a blade belonging to
US.
Mr. Nagato.
at least you got
Yuya
both of them.
started the fire that destroyed
Sino's
the
really,
warehouse
really good.
and wounded Mr. Nagato
He's a
in the
5-star
fight.
racer. A
Mr.
better
Nagato
5-star
kept chase
version
as
of
long
Razor.
as he could, eventually stopping here
And
to
Candice
write
is
this letter when
good,
his strength
but she needs
gave
to
out.
find
So,
the character that can utilize her
where is
better.
he?
Like Ayato can use her, but she
He
needs
was not only mortally
her
wounded,
own niche.
but also
Because
under the heavy
Yujin can do
influence of
stuff that she does
Tatarigami.
way better.
Add to that the fact that its aura seems to have attracted a horde of
Literally,
monsters,
lunch.
and
I'm gonna hop on later though.
I'm afraid
Oh,
he
okay,
may no
that's cool.
longer be with us.
No worries.
Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point, they've since been disturbed by the
Give me
hilly
him after
churls.
140 pulls.
There's nothing more for us to find here.
I feel bad for you, Yuki. You should have put some money into the game if you really wanted Sino. You know what's so crazy? I got Sino on I don't know what I got him on. I think I got him on. I didn't get him on Pity.
Yes.
I don't know what I got him on.
Right now, we need
But
to
then I
uncover
also
some
got
more
Nilo
important
straight away
truths.
afterwards.
If Amenoma
So I got
Yuya
very
is attacking other
lucky
people
with both of them.
indiscriminately,
I got Nilo
then
and
the longer
Sino.
we take to
I
find
want
him, the
Albedo
more
because
people
I don't have
risk meeting the
Albedo.
same tragic
But
end.
I've summoned for him at least
Right,
3 times.
so let's get
Every time
moving.
he's been up. And I haven't gotten him once. So, it's very unfortunate.
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey to the influence of the Tatarigami. For a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest desire to inflame would be their
Oh, wow,
pursuit
you
of
got
further
lucky.
power and skill. All the clues that at first seemed disparate and
You got
disconnected.
Dendro boy, Dendro.
It seems that now we know the thread that
Oh,
runs
Tainari,
between
I
them.
want him.
I have a hypothesis that,
Yeah,
if
lucky,
it's correct,
you see?
not only explains
I
the
wish I got
series of
Tainari.
events leading to the two men's disappearance, but also zeroes in on the
I hate
attacker's
Bo.
identity.
Wait, you
Really?
figured it out? So these
I love
two
both
cases
characters.
are connected after all?
I believe so. But it's something of an outlandish idea. I will only be able to confirm my suspicions
Bo
once
is
we've
my
met him in
second
person.
favorite weapon type in this game.
On with the
my
search.
first favorite
We
weapon type
must
is
stay
Katniss.
vigilant.
My
At
favorite
any
character
point
in the
now,
entire
we
game
may
is
find
Yamiko.
ourselves in danger.
So. And I don't have good Dendro artifacts either. I got 5-star ball. That's the whole reason why I went for Ganyu when she first came out. Where is it? These are my balls. I've got 5-star. Yeah, Yoimiya. Venti's one are free. I was trying to go for Staff of Homer, but they kept to give me Venti's bow. I got Amos bow, that's my first 5-star bow, and then I got 2 of these. I got too much bows. I got way too much bows. I know. But for one-handed swords, I don't have a lot. Well, now I do. I got Nilo's weapon as well, actually. I have actually not a whale. Wait, I can show you. Wait. The only thing I bought was this one, which was £14. I spent £14 on the game. That was it. And also, I get the daily stuff. I get the Welkin Moon. I just have insane luck with gachas. I think I'm the same with Bleach. I've got 2 5-star spares. Seen the bows. I've got 4 5-star swords. And I've got 4 5-star great swords. So... Oh, and Catalyst. I have 3 5-star Catalysts. So with this one I was trying to summon for Raiden Shogun's spare, and they gave me this instead. But I like Kokumi, so I was alright. This one, I don't know how I got this, but I like Ningguang, so I'm okay. And so on and so forth. I got the useless energy recharge prolong. The most useless codex I don't have a character to use it on. It's actually... You're talking about this one? Skyward Spine. It's actually quite good. Because it gives them energy recharge. And it also increases your attack speed and increase their crit rate. So you have this like vacuum effect on your normal attacks and stuff. It's actually really good. If you have Raiden Shogun, you can use it on her. Because I don't have her weapon. But since it's energy recharge, you can use it on anyone. I could use it on Xiao. You probably wouldn't want to give it to Hu Tao. You can give it to Rosaria, who will benefit Rosaria. Zhongli, I had it on Zhongli for so long. You could give it to Shenhe, Shenhe's good with it. You could give it to Sino, but I know you don't have Sino. And it would be very good on Xiangling as well. There's a lot of characters you can give it to. Oh, you only have Zhongli or Hu Tao? Yeah, give it to Zhongli then. I have 4-star one, which is better. Is it the catch? Where's my Zhongli? This is the one I gave Zhongli. You can give him this. Oh, you have that on Xiangling. Oh, okay. My Xiangling's at the bottom. My Xiangling has Favonius Lance. Because I just want her to spam ults. But just don't comment on my levels. I have no weapon on level 90. All of my weapons are level 80 or 70. And it's been like that for 2 years. I have no need to max out a weapon right now. You don't have Favonius Lance. Do you summon on the weapon banner though? I think it's because you don't summon on the weapon banner. Cause with me, if I get a 5-star character early, I summon on the weapon banner. Like with when I got Eula, I got her on my first try. So I went to summon on her weapon banner, and I also got that on the first try.
He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
Did it 5 times. Oh,
why here?
that's unfortunate, man.
Is there
I don't know what to
anything
say.
special about this place?
I'm not sure.
I would say I'm a dolphin
But
on the
on
game because I
closer
spent money on it.
examination, I sense
But my
that the
friend
aura may
Deeps,
have lingered here at several
he's completely
different
free
points
to
in
play.
time.
And he has a lot more pulls than me.
Show yourself.
I think he saved
It's no
up
use hiding anymore.
240 summoning gems, he said he has. He has 240 pulls saved up from the healer.
Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So it is the same guy from before. What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against Kazuha?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Ame no
Fair
Meyuya
enough, fair
that
enough.
stands before us. But what if instead of facing Ame no Meyuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
That sword looks so good.
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange light. Whoa, whoa! Surely you don't mean... Are you serious?
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any living organisms in its vicinity. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using the sale as a means to affect, or rather as a means to occupy, Amenoma Yuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was his pride and joy. In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaidahara clan, you should be able to guess our greatest regret.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. In the end, all he could do was to flee the nation by sea on a ship bound for Snezhnaya. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and a little faith. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, it culminated in his creation of me. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable achievement in the art of blade forging.
So, swords can become conscious?
Exactly, sharp and fight.
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one, but in all other respects an ordinary weapon. That gave me the opportunity to take action. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one person to the next, I controlled the minds of countless hosts along the way, each bringing me one step closer to my ancestral home. I seek but one thing. To face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power, the might of Ishin art.
So Amenoma Yuya was not your first victim. Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you've finished you?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that when they got tired or injured or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma.
Oh, you remember it?
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until Amenoma Yuya handed himself over to me on a silver platter. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By Amenoma Yuya's body, I have found you, and by your hand, I shall defeat the Raiden Shogun. Kaidahara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. There can be no other to serve as my host for what is to come. Now, give your body over to me!
We fighting! Okay, let's go.
Lightning terrified!
Hear my prayer! Our bond is strong!
Forward Emma! Help!
Shall rewrite history!
The wind knows
me! Shall rewrite history! Join me and sever that divine light!
Oh, whoa, whoa.
Stand with me.
Do not stand
I need
in
to
my
change
way,
Kukishin,
or I will strike you down too!
Your
Make
bluffs
a pure
fooling
element
no
of
one!
mastery.
You've lost!
Lost. I can never lose. It is this body that has reached its limit, nothing more. Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but this... He is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take it. The end result is the same. I will end this wretched... And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. By any means necessary, and any medium available, I shall return and fulfill my destiny!
Your fighting
Calm
style.
down.
It is indeed the forms of Ishin art. But from your movements,
sword is
I
so
sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a thinly veiled mania and despair.
Really? You can tell all that just from his moves?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings. Since the blade is currently possessing Aminome Yuya's body, its movements express the innermost thoughts of the blade. If you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded ambition. You believe I am your only hope.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Ishin Art's secrets. The little that you know barely scratches the surface. In that regard, why would I ever need your help?
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed a cursed blade that can possess its owner. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. You weren't biding your time. After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point that you are now unable to acquire a new host without making physical contact.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembers now. Mr. Nagato had a habit of...
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did you finally have an opportunity to reach out to Aminome Yuya and make your escape.
And what of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. There's a despair in you. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost.
Oh, man.
But this ambition is too grand and too heavy for you to bear.
The story.
Each step you have taken has come at a great cost. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater your fear of losing every... But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since become a delusional fantasy.
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving my goal!
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities and showed a blatant disregard for human life, even if you were to sever that divine light. Is this truly the outcome that your maker would have desired? Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, you treated the ones who wielded you as mere tools to do your bidding. How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle of harmony between a blade and its bearer?
So, basically, at the start of the quest, the guy with the sword attacks the main character, which is you. And he says he's looking for Kazuha, which is the guy that's talking, the soft boy. And then you investigate everything, what's going on. You find out 2 people are missing. And then, bang, you find him looking for you. I had a fight with him, beat him up. And then you find out that the sword has possessed the user because the bladesmith art, the blacksmith art that his family line uses conveys the body, mind, soul into the blade, and the body and the mind and the soul that's inside the blade has taken over the person's body and is consumed with hatred, despair, and grief. I don't know. Basically, and he's just making the sword know it's gotten weaker over the years and he can't do what he can do ever again. So I think he's trying to take the blade away from him ASAP. Or make sure the blade like goes back to normal, you know. Once the sword become good after his speech. Yeah, of course.
Silence.
I
you
like
blubbering
Kazuha, but when he
fool.
talks, it's so
I
boring.
must achieve my
It's so
goal.
boring when Kazuha
This
talks.
was his life's dream, and the very purpose for which I was brought into being. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly. But you also underestimate my resolve.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me nothing. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection, and certainly not your so-called reality. It is pointless to argue further, descendant of the Kaedahara clan. If you wish to save this man, then offer me your body in exchange.
How stubbornly you stick to your wayward path. I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state. So let us make a bet, and I will put your strength to the test.
What? Surely you're not planning to agree to his demands.
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross blades. A taste of my power will more than
the
convince
sword
you.
wants his body. The sword wants...
Once we have dealt with them,
Kazuha has a grown man, you know.
Tenshukaku.
He looks like
And
a
as
kid,
for
but he's a
your end
grown
of
up.
the bargain, if you lose,
He's probably
you
20,
must
21.
release Amenoma Yuya from your control.
The main character's
I
over 500 years old.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
Him over there, he's over 500 years old, the main character.
This is the only way to save Amenoma Yuya. If we don't do this, he'll forever be the Blade's puppet. The Cursed Blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This
looks like a
suggests
kid.
his heart
He
is still
does,
not
but
completely
he's the
devoid
last
of honor. The
survivor of
power
his
of the
clan.
Tatarigami lies in intensifying
I'll say he's
existing
between
obsessions.
19 to 21.
This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuya
Because he
fell
drinks
prey to it.
alcohol.
Since I
And
don't have
minors
any
are not allowed to
similar
drink
kinds of
alcohol in this
obsessions,
game.
I should be able to put up some resistance for a while.
But even so...
Even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have you both here with me. We have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too. Now, take me in your hand.
I'm not gonna lie, that sword looks sick.
Kazuha?
I'm okay. I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected. I will.
What should we do next? Have you got a plan, Kazuha?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights. If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, it cannot unleash its true power. If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it. He should...
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about something from the adventurers. Since the Takatsukasa clan abandoned that secret base, it's been held by Ronin ever since.
Ah, all right. Please lead
How
the way.
far am I in this game?
What about Amenoma
I'm up to
Yuya?
date, kind
What
of.
should we do with him?
I just have character
The
quests to
blade
do.
says
This is
he'll
a character
let
quest,
Amenoma
it's not
Yuya
part of the main
trail us
quest.
silently.
This game has a new
Although
update
he
coming
hasn't
out
regained his own consciousness
tonight.
yet.
For
He
me,
is not
I'll
in
get
any
tomorrow
immediate
morning.
danger.
Are we sure this
And
is a good idea?
it's part of
It's
the
a
new
pretty
storyline
treacherous
for the
journey.
Sumeru country.
Okay,
It's the
fine.
ending of that
Just
story.
Be careful.
So we're gonna have to fight a man-made god. That's what that story's about. Let's see if we can kill him. Alright, so we gotta go here now. Wow, this game's story is not gonna end till like... Okay. The game's story is not gonna end till... I think the next 8 years? The story is gonna take about 10 years to complete, they said. So even if you don't want to play the game now, you still have enough... You still have something to play. I'll come back to. No rush. Oh wait, there's a thing here I didn't do. Before I go into that dungeon, I need to do this. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay. Can I climb it? No, I missed one. This game is racist. I had to change characters so I can run far better. Okay. Okay, now I've done it.
Ooh, will we find any firework materials in here?
Alright, let's go to this dungeon. Where's Yalan? Alright, change teams. It doesn't matter who I pick, does it? Alright, Kaze, if you're still here, I'm gonna pick... I would pick D-Luke, I would. I want to. Oh no, I'm gonna have to. Alright, fuck it. D-Luke. Pick Yalan. Fuck it, I'll just pick who I want to pick. I want to pick Aloy. No, Elo. And one more person. Hydro. There we go.
Take heart. Victory will be ours.
I hope it still works. I know they're gonna give me Kazuha. Oh!
Leave everything on this journey to me.
What does this sword do? AoE damage. It heals me. That's it.
Into the wind.
Barry. Let's get down to business.
The wind knows her. As one with wind and cloud.
The fairy. Finally.
Into the wind.
Fairy.
How are you feeling? You
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so long without proper use and maintenance, it's become very difficult to use. Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last much longer.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather than trying to control me, he is instead trying to match my fighting rhythm. Let's keep going.
Oh. Oh, it's just here.
Time to go.
On to the next one.
Let's get down to
Wing
business.
One with nature.
So this is basically a live service.
How's this? To the fairy.
Kind of.
How's this?
The content will end. They said 10 years.
Let's get down to business.
So it will end, like the main story. But you could say it can continue.
Clouds high. The birds call.
But 10 years it will end, they said. So we'll see.
The fairy.
So far we're 2 years in.
What's up with the blade?
Yeah, 10 years, because they want to go through every country. So far we have Mondstadt, which is kind of like Europe, like West Europe. And then we have in Liyue is China. We have Inazuma, which is Japan. And then we have Sumeru, which is the Middle East and Egypt. So it's an Arabic country. So we have, and they're all based on the elements of the game. So Mondstadt is wind, Nemo. Liyue is Geo, which is like Earth. Then Inazuma is Electro. And Sumeru is Dendro, which is grass, technically. And so we have fire, ice, and water left. We have 3 more nations left. And then whilst... did I get that right? Yeah, we have 3 more nations left. And then once those nations are done, I'm pretty sure we have the Abyss. We have storyline we have to go through, which is to do with the past, Karnia. And from what we've seen from Dainsleif, one of the characters, he has like this dark energy power. So that might be a new element introduced. And then after that, we have the Saritsa storyline, the Fatui, which she's planning a war against the gods and Celestia. And that will probably take a long time too. So we'll see what they're doing. And so far they only have 1 crossover character in this game, which is Aloy from Horizon. I was hoping 2B would come to the game, but we'll have to wait and see.
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. The blade is becoming more and more difficult for me to wield. He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting, he will likely break apart at any moment.
But what would that do to Amanome Yuya?
I will be careful with it. He also says he does not have any plans to give up easily. He's still trying to achieve his goal.
Is there a chest there? No. It's not here. Oh, there's one here.
One with nature. Time to get. Wind strike.
Alright.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
Cut down.
What were really struggling the entire fight.
Yes. And it looks like he's reached his limit.
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as it did at the start.
Perhaps this time, we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
True form? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk!
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi, much less the almighty Shogun. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the long journey from Snezhnaya back to Inazuma has left you battered and broken. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy. I've finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then you would still be able to wield commendable power. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty, nor can I empathize with the one who made you. The only one who truly understood you had already passed away by the time you were born.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Here they are! Take them down!
Oh, fuck.
Where do they keep coming from? Yup, we can help this time.
Don't worry. I'll use my own blade. It's just more of the same.
Lucky day.
Into the wind.
Same sword or a different sword? Oh, Philip blade. Oh no. Oh no. It's a good sword to be honest. Oh, please stop.
My blade.
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud.
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though we fought briefly together, you have seen me for who I really... No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. You are the first person to know the truth. I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you, perhaps there would still be a ray of hope for me.
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, I could not attain that perfect harmony that your personal blade does with you. Too much time has passed. My physical state is poor, and without proper maintenance, I can only disguise my true appearance behind an outer sheen. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi. And what a magnificent blade it is. Perhaps I shall never reach that level of glory.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not everything. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Plus, in the moment that I most needed it, I received aid from another power. Skill, blade, determination, and desire. All these must be aligned in the practice of Ishin art. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to possess your own consciousness derived from the power of the Tatarigami. Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. It is the source of your mania and savagery. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, the part of you driven by Tatarigami was constantly trying to seize control of my body.
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it. It is an integral part of my consciousness.
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. But I do not know whether you yourself have any intention of trying to fight it. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey bound for a destination, you were destined never to... The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed your true potential. And yet there was no way for you to turn your back on his ambition. You have known this for a long time. It is the true source of your despair.
He gave me everything. My life. How could I possibly deny him his wish? I said to him, "Do not worry. From here on, I shall forge your legacy." How could I go back on my word?
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing further to say.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. Let's give him some time to reflect on things. When I touched the hilt for the first time,
Oh man, come
a
on.
bladesmith lay quietly on the bed, his frail face barely visible under the moonlight. A newly forged blade lay by his side, listening attentively to his final words.
Wow. That was the blade's memory, wasn't it?
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually learned the truth behind everything that had happened. The Ishin art had been dealt a devastating blow by the desertion of its best smiths. He spent the rest of his life in the forge, not to vent his frustration and hatred, but to atone for his actions. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. His sole wish was to one day return his single, proudest creation back to the land of his birth. So he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long or how hard the journey. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith, that they were still worthy of being trusted.
So that's the true story. But after that, the blacksmith's intentions were worked by the Tatarigami, slowly turning his proud creation into the cursed blade of today.
Right. I believe that this blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because it lost its original master. No one was there to correct its errors when it was losing its way.
Shame it's too late now.
Yes. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. While the world moved on, his ambition remained stubbornly stuck at that fleeting moment at the dawn of his journey. He seems to have calmed down, though. Let's go and check in.
When I look back at the past, I can remember the day of my forging like it was just yesterday. I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his wishes. Such was the debt I owed to him for giving me the gift of consciousness. But darkness and slaughter numb the mind. Over time, I lost sight of the difference between gratitude and grudge. Not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition, I also defiled it.
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement and release Amenoma Yuya. But I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. It is the entire purpose for my existence. So, may I ask you to help me fulfill the ambitions of myself and my creator?
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix, too? Jeez, don't push your luck, mister.
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should still be of some value to you.
His attitude has grown a lot. What do you think, Kazuha?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already
Oh
terminally
man,
ill.
come on.
Alas, after that, he never rose from his sick
I
bed
am
again.
hungry.
Nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself.
It's 5
in
o'clock
battle
already.
since. My fights were devoid of any noble
Oh
meaning.
my gosh.
They were merely the next step in my never-ending journey. You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle and experience a true duel between samurai.
Oh?
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore his consciousness. You must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood. Then let's start by...
I see. He used my... I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, he must still have some remaining semblance of honor. If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I am willing to put myself forward. I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to the Tenryu Commission.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how this would have ended without your intervention.
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't stay here. In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim for a greater sense of ceremony.
Give me that chest, bruv. Thank you. Didn't even get to use the team I made.
Make sure to keep up.
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash. Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Even now, Paimon has a sneaking still. Even if he's way past the point of redemption, it's hard not to feel a teensy bit sorry for him. Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. All right then. Successor of Ishin art, Kaedahara Kazuha.
Successor of Amenoma art, Amenoma Yuya.
Honored to cross blades with you.
Yeah, you download that right now, bro. Oh crap.
One with nature.
After this
The wind knows me. Time to go. Wind strike.
Come here, bruv.
Falling leaves, adorn my night. It's fine. Into the wind.
Thank you for the although he appears battered and broken. In your hands, it seems he's regained a glimmer of brilliance. His sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away. But that same sense of determination...
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the experience. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you himself.
I must apologize to you for all that has transpired.
You need not seek my forgiveness.
nor do I have the right to... It is too late for all...
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone, and not let them stain the legacy of Ishin art. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Ishin art still has a worthy successor in Kaedehara Kazuha. I beseech you, please understand this.
Yes. I too trust Mr. Kaedehara to do the right thing.
Thank you, successor of Amenoma art.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to...
I'm not sure.
Alright, Kazuha, you need to hurry up and finish this. Take it a piss, bro. Take it a piss. Let me just walk there.
It's Yuya!
I am sorry to have troubled you. It's all thanks to them that I was able to return safely.
A prized Ishin blade. Turned weapon that controls the human mind. Considering their forging philosophy, this was indeed within the realm of possibility. But I have some good news as well. Ryuji, from the Bantan Sango Detective Agency...
Really? Is he...
Yes. Badly wounded, but... And now that Yuya is back, it seems like the final ending to this story is a...
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering in your ear again?
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for a brief moment.
What? No way! Hasn't it learned its lesson?
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me that he won't use my body for anything nefarious. I have decided to let him do it.
But... he... Oh.
Thank you. I will explain my reasons later. Okay. I am ready. Let us...
My power is almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness.
Oh, you're back for the engine. You can see the cutscene.
You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if
Another
I
cutscene.
prove its might to the show.
At least it's a proper cutscene. It's the ending.
Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands.
I wanted to end quickly so I could play the new Apex update.
His final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaede.
I got a new Smite update too.
Over the years, my real
and there's a new Fortnite update too. Seriously, man.
I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin.
It's the new season of Apex today. Right now, 5 o'clock. I didn't even know it was 5.
Rest in peace.
It's a brand new sword he made. Well.
So...
I did see
that's
the new
why he said it had to be done in
yeah,
that
yeah.
order.
It's Maui.
His
He's
consciousness will disappear
Hawaiian
forever
god.
after fulfilling the bladesmith's
He's
wish.
really cool. But I think the new updates for skins and like balance changes.
It was the first time I ever heard his name. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions, and thus chose to bury this name deep within his heart. Only in the final moments before his
Seems like he really...
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward also fueled the stubborn determination. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes. I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me. Just as the sight of those who fought to repeal the Vision Hunt decree did.
His ult pulls,
your quest to
he
face
leaves
the
the island there
gods
so you
and
can't run
trace
back
your
on the
sibling
island.
inspires me in the same way.
He's support.
After everything I've seen,
he can do solo too.
Perhaps these pursuits
he has
fascinate
range.
me a
He
little
has a
more
bit of
than they
range
should.
because he throws his hook around.
Kazuha?
He can pull you in. He has movement as well.
I will
so he
continue
can
to
jump
support
on
you
people.
from this point on.
And I
Know
forgot the
that you
last
will
one.
have my assistance
Last one he makes
whenever you
allies
need it.
teleport to him. It's quite cool. He's a very nice character. I haven't used him though because he's a guardian. I don't use guardians. I like assassins.
Wait! Shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kamaji?
Oh, you're right. And it's also time to...
Yeah, he's definitely support, yeah. But he's very good. I was playing Conquest like a couple of days ago. Somebody was using him as assassin. So I don't know. Yeah, try him out. It's nothing you can lose. I had to talk to this guy quickly. It's nighttime also, it's got speed boost.
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. Though this was a treacherous investigation indeed, we're most fortunate. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amanoma Yuya
People
should
do
conclude
stuff like that in
soon.
Conquest.
Do not
Like
believe he will be
Bracken
charged with any crime.
as an
Wow,
assassin.
you sure kept your ear to the ground.
If it works,
Then
it
we
works.
needn't recount all the details
You
again.
won't be killing me with that
Now,
character.
as to your
Bracken can
earlier
kill me
offer,
easily.
I wish to
Not
give
Maui,
you my
man.
answer.
Not Maui.
Please, take a look at this blade.
What's this?
They lost because of that guy too.
Kagotsurube Ishin. A weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaidahara clan. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will continue to study and pass on the secrets of Ishin art. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations, learning more about this blade as I go.
I see.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand.
It works.
The Kaidahara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only proper for me to continue on this path. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya. That would not suit me.
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not our intent.
I could do JoJo's
I am
tonight
aware,
when you're
but
streaming.
I still desire to
But
continue
after
walking
this, I
my
wanted
own
to play
path.
Apex.
Very well.
'cause the new
I can
update's out.
understand.
I
Then let's
actually wanted
pretend this
to
offer was
stream
never
it,
raised.
But I would have to see if my friend
However,
CJ's
if you
on.
should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the Shogunate's assistance, please do not hesitate to inform me.
Great. Thank you for your generosity.
Where will you travel to next, Kazuha?
I'll probably take to the seas with Captain Beto again for now. As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
Need to make Beto into a 5-star man. I got the sword. Ha ha ha. Where's the main character? Where is he? 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 Is he available for some JoJo's? Yeah, sure. I'll be sure to message you 100%. Here's the sword. So, normal attack, charge attack, plunge attacks, wind up or hewing gale, AoE damage. So, okay, so it's a different effect from the actual one that was in the story. In the story, you can actually heal. This one you can't. It's still a good sword though. I'll level it up to the best of my ability. 4 hours I can level it up. Alright, cool. I'm going to fight one boss. Then I'm going to end the stream and jump on the apex. So the boss is right here. Let's see how my dealing does. How strong is my dealing actually? 2,100. Let's back with it. The damage should be higher. Let's hold it in back. It's kind of trash. Oh no man, I don't know how I can improve them. I don't get good luck on artifacts.
Take it easy. You can't run! Busted. Lights out.
Flames, purge!
Ooh, look at that damage, baby! Oh, TGD, you joined when I was just about to end the stream. I'm gonna fight this boss and then I'm gonna end it.
Quietly now. Judgment!
I finished the quest, I've got the sword.
Barbados, guide us.
Come on, jump, 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 jump.
Busted. Game's up. Time's over.
Race to the wicked!
You can't run! Punishment!
I love Rosario, man. The Simmer involves look like it. It does. It does look like a Pokemon. If I could show you one of the Arenaras here ASAP, you understand what true Pokemon is. Actually, no, I can actually. Where are they at? I could show you an Arenara. So I have to go to the dream world. I have to go to the dream world, right? Yeah, if I go to the dream world, I can show you them. They look like Pokemon. A Great Ball would have been able to catch it. You need the Ultra Ball. Where they at? Here they are. These things look like Pokemon. Look at him. He's so happy. I'd be happy too to see Rosario. Alright, cool. Let's end the stream. I would like to thank you guys for joining. But it's time to end it. You can play melodies. Yeah, you can make your own like music in this game. If you look up on YouTube, I think someone's made like Backstreet Boys stuff. Yeah, he does look like Hitmontop. They all do. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here, guys. Thank you for joining, and I hope I see you guys in the next one. I'm out.